Hopefully everyone can see the slides that I'm sharing. If you have any questions, you're welcome to type them in the chat area, or you can turn on your microphone. My name is Julie. I'm with the Center Teaching Excellence team on the Armstrong campus, and Susan Kurt's going to join us from the Learning Technology Services team. My disclaimer for this webinar is I have been up working since 4:30. It's one of those mornings you wake up and it's like, what am I doing up? So I'm ready for a nap now. So hopefully everything will go okay. But I'm going to go through these slides, and then I have some questions that I'll share with you that some of the other faculty members have asked us, and then I'll go in and show you a little bit of how it looks and feels from my viewpoint of my folio course. Okay, so what is YuJa? It's the video management platform to capture, share, and store videos within the learning management system folio. Who can access it? Similar to Kaltura, faculty and students. What does it do? You can record videos, you can edit your videos, you can add captioning, you can edit your captioning. You can also add quiz questions throughout the video and include other, content resources within the video. So how do I access YuJa? Well, in your folio course, from that top navigation menu, you should be able to choose My Menu and then YuJa. And if it's there now, it's been loaded on all of the office computers. So you can start using it today, and really the sooner you start using it to record your videos, the less number of videos that we'll have to migrate from Kaltura to YuJa. And then as of May the 7th, the creation of videos in Kaltura will be turned off. You could also access YuJa through the YuJa mobile app, and I've downloaded it on my phone, but I haven't really played around with it yet. But from what Sandy and Susan's team say, it's very user-friendly. As we all know, students use mobile apps, even the Pulse mobile app, to access their folio courses. So you can record a video from whatever mobile device you have, and then just use the YuJa mobile app device to upload it to your course. So it's pretty straightforward. So what is happening with Kaltura? The contract ends at the end of June. All videos are going to be migrated to YuJa and will continue to be available, and all your links to your videos will continue to work. And then this is just a little display of what's happening. Right now, all your videos are stored in what they call the Kaltura cloud. And all of those videos are going to be moved over to the Kaltura cloud. And when Sandy worked with me last week on the webinar, she was saying that the top priorities for making this transition are for the summer semester courses. If any of you have any requests, to have your course added to this top priorities list, please let us know. But I believe within the next week or so, they're going to start working on that. Actually, May is next week, so I would say then as well. And then again, what are we going to talk about in this session? Just navigating in YuJa, how to install the software, which you will not have to install the software on computers on campus. If you have computers at home or offsite, then you'll have to download that software. How to create a recording, how to upload the videos. Manage media consists of editing the videos and adding quizzes, sharing videos, viewing the analytics, which is really interesting as far as what your students, or how much of the videos your students are viewing, and then to look at it from a student perspective. What does their view of YuJa look like? And then, like I said, I'll go over some questions that I've been gathering since we started these webinars last week. So how do I navigate in YuJa? This screen here is just a screen capture of the main screen of YuJa. And this is just how to download it. How do I create a recording? So what will happen is, let me go back to this main YuJa navigation screen. I would select this option here that says create recording. And then this window here appears, and you can choose what media sources that you want to record. If you want to do a video, record your voice and the screen, then you'll select all three of those. And on the right side of the screen, it gives you a preview of what your selections will be. So if you just want to do a screen capture of what you're covering in your course, like a course navigation video, then you could turn off the video and just record your audio and your screen. So you can expand these options here to choose which source. I believe when Sandy worked with it last week, she has two displays on her desk, so she could choose which screen that she wanted to include in the recording. One thing she mentioned, and it's really helpful, is down here where it says mic source. It used to be before with Kaltura, you record, but you're not sure. I've had a couple of faculty members tell me, even recording with PowerPoint, that they didn't realize their audio was not loud enough, or, it wasn't working at all. But here in this preview area, it shows you that your mic is working. And then you just go down here in the lower right corner and select the start button to start recording. How do you upload videos to your YuJa account? You just select the upload option, and then the screen appears here, and you can upload, videos, narrated lecture files that you already have, YouTube videos, audio files if you're just creating a podcast, or other documents or media sources. And when you select this option here to link, let's say you want to insert a YouTube video, then you select YouTube and just, I went to the YouTube video, copied the link, and then just selected it here and put it here. Manage media. So this is when you start developing, or once all of your videos are moved over to Kaltura. When you first go in, this is like the repository area of where all your videos are. And then your area is divided into your personal media and shared media. This shared media, actually, I think I have another slide to show this. Yes. So the personal area contains your media, and then you can create files and folders to organize your videos. And then the shared with me section contains media that's shared with you by another YuJa content owner, and they can give you different levels of access to, read only, to view only, or to edit, or to be able to have full access to the videos. And then in the shared section, there are shared folders and all channels. And I just used an example here. For each course, there's going to be a YuJa channel. So let's say this is my English 1101 channel. And whatever videos I have in that channel that I give access, or whatever videos I publish to that channel, the instructors and students that have access to that channel will be able to see those videos. So a little bit, we just talked about sharing videos through the course channels, and for each course, they'll have a channel. You can also go into your content in your folio course by, when you edit the HTML, say for a content item, you choose that insert stuff button, and then you'll see the YuJa media chooser, and you can select what video you want to choose and insert the media there as well. You can share not only like a embedded video, but a link to a video. And this just shows you in YuJa what you'll do. This is my video in YuJa. If I select more, then this other panel displays, and I can select the link and copy that link. And then I'll go into my folio course, and I can just add that link there. And then this is just talking about sharing embedded videos. Same thing, you go to whatever video you want to share or embed, choose the more option, select links, and then copy the embed code, and then go into your folio course, and you can embed it either as a video, or you can actually embed it into the content file. Similar to Kaltura, you can add quiz questions. And the question types are listed here. And what you do is go select the YouTube video, choose more, and then that panel that displays choose quizzes, and then you just select that create quiz button and start adding the quiz questions. So I just added this slide because this was a question that I asked Sandy when I first started playing with YuJa, is can the video quizzes be linked to the folio gradebook? And the answer is yes. Right now, Sandy and Susan's team are updating the documentation. And what will happen is the video quiz grade will sync over to the folio gradebook for your courses. So let's say you record a video and you're going to use the video editor, which is a great tool. It's an integrated, what they call an integrated video editor, but it allows editing of both captured and uploaded media, and they consider it a non-destructive, which I have proven that this week. With me just playing around with my videos. Well, what happens is you create your original video and then you're like, okay, I'm going to trim a little here and trim a little here. And then realize, oh no, I'm just going to go with my original. So you can, it creates like a new version of the file that you edit. So if you ever decide, you know what, I'm just going to go with the original one, then you can just go back to your original video. And then this lists some of the editing features, which I mentioned earlier. You can trim, beginning and ends of it, add slides and images to it. They have what they call a telestration, which is like an annotation that you can actually write on the slides, and you can edit your captioning. So over here on the right side of the screen, these are actually the tools that are on the horizontal toolbar of the video editor, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. And, these are all the tools that you can use to edit your videos. And this is what the video editor looks like. So here's your toolbar across the middle. And over here, you can select the captioning to edit your captioning, and you can add what they call an index. So if you have a 10-minute video and you want to add an index where you cover topic 1, then you can come up here and say topic 1, and I'll show you an example of that I created with one of the videos that I was playing with. So viewing analytics, reviewing analytics of videos to see how the students are utilizing the video. So what you'll do is just select that video that you want to look at the analytics, choose more, and select analytics. And then over this other window, it will appear, and you'll see some of the, there's different tabs here that you can select and see out of, the number of views as the video progresses, how many students were viewing that video. And I think I have another slide that shows that better. Yes. So it's called there's 2 types of analytics: content analytics and user analytics. So the content analytics, you can review on a video by video basis. So for this particular video, in my Econ 404 course, it's called the CEO interview. So down here, I can look at the viewing behavior and see these were the number of students that viewed it. And it looks like a higher number of students viewed it at the beginning of the video. But as the video continued, look, they only watched less than the first 10 minutes, which honestly is probably realistic. So this is a wealth of information to refer to make sure, or just to see what your students are accessing. Now for the user analytics, you can, it provides a class by class breakdown of the user participation, like their views and their total playback length. So here's all the students in a course. These are the number of views per student and the total length that they spent viewing that. And let's say if I want to choose by student to see what that student actually viewed, then I can choose that student's name, and then this shows me the actual detailed information for that particular student, what videos, and the usage summary as far as what the students have actually viewed with the videos. For the student experience, they can create their own videos and media. They'll have access to the video editor. They can submit videos and other media to a Dropbox assignment. So they'll just go in and select that insert stuff button and choose YuJa Media Chooser, and they can either attach, actually record a video, select, one from the media chooser, and then submit their Dropbox assignment. So here's a few questions. So when I first started playing with this last week, I thought, okay, so let me go on my sandbox course and play with it. So this is what my sandbox course looked like. And I thought, I know I have videos. Where are they? And this is simple. So you have to go over here to My Media YuJa, and ta-da, there they are. So you have to just choose My Media, or come over here and choose My Media on the left panel here, and all your videos will appear. It's simple, but it was something I thought it would be good to share. The other question is, when you're using YuJa, will there be any difference between when you're using a PC or a Mac? And Sandy said so far they have not heard of any differences, in the look of the feel of the tool. With a PC, you can annotate the slides and write on the slides when you're recording the video. With a Mac, you can add annotations while editing the video. So far, really, that's the only difference that I'm aware of. And the YuJa team has this enhancement on their list as far as making sure that when you're using a Mac, you can add the annotations when recording. As soon as that is available, we'll let you know. Susan, is that pretty much the latest update on that?
I've heard that may have already been released. We haven't heard confirmation, but I've heard that absolute confirmation, but I've heard that it may have already been released. So
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm glad I asked.
like in the last day or so that it's been released. But
okay, I'll play with it then, because I have a Mac, so I'll be the tester. Okay, so this was a question that was asked Monday. I have created and embedded YuJa videos in my summer course. What if I want to copy my summer course with my YuJa videos over to the fall course? Are the YuJa videos going to be with my fall course? And the answer is the videos will still be in YuJa. You will just need to publish those videos to your fall course channel. And remember, I said for each course, it has their own channel. And then I have someone else's YouTube video embedded in my course. Can I add quiz questions to it? And the answer is yes. So what happens is, after you upload that YouTube video to your YuJa, the advertisements are stripped from the video, which I think is great. And then you can add quiz questions throughout the video. And this was a good question. If the YouTube video disappears from YouTube and I still have it in my YuJa version, are there any copyright issues with me still having the video and it's not actually still available in YouTube? And the answer is no, because what happens is when you upload that YouTube video, this screen here appears. And if you choose that import options, then the second screen here appears, and it pretty much tells you, that this media is being downloaded into the for instructional purposes, and you choose that and then just save it. So you're actually using it for teaching purposes.
And it's important to import that video into your account, because if you don't import that video into your account, you can't you can't edit it and add quiz questions to it. So if you just link it into your account, you don't get all the full editing options. So I have linked it and haven't imported it, and if you import it, you get more options to it. So always import it.
That's good. Thank you. So another faculty member said, I'm going to spend the summer creating new videos because I have a new textbook for my courses. So 3 years from now, are we still going to be using YuJa? Because 3 years ago, we were using Kaltura. And so Sandy did a great job of answering this question. And she said, listen, over the last year, when we pivoted to remote learning, and actually starting in the fall semester, they started noticing some frequent downtime with Kaltura. There is minimum support to support Sandy and Susan's team to be able to support students. There were students that could not access videos for, particular assessments. So that's when they started looking at tools saying, you know what, we need to offer our students and faculty the best online resources. So that's when they found YuJa, and really since all this has happened, the number of videos in that cloud has tripled, since we've all pivoted to online or some type of online, and there's been less downtime. And I believe Sandy said that YuJa is really focused on their higher ed support, whereas Kaltura, they have huge corporate customers. Like I think Netflix is one of their customers. So, this right now, Sandy said, is the best tool based on our university's needs. Did I say it all right, Susan?
That is correct. That is correct. They are focused on higher ed, and Kaltura made it clear that they were focused on their corporate customers.
Right. Okay.
We needed a higher ed focus.
All right. Yeah. So hopefully we won't have to go through all that again. But if we do, we're confident that huge all because I don't think they had. I think their service or support throughout all of it was nonstop. Um, okay. So looks, Susan, is there a question in the chat?
Sorry, I had a visitor that showed up in my.
That's okay. I thought I saw a little.
Yeah, I had an unplanned
That's
need to be
okay.
home today, so.
That's okay. I'm just gonna move forward, and then once I turn off this, I'll look and we can talk if you have any questions.
The question is actually about the closed captioning, and we have found that the YuJa closed captioning is much better. It is much consistent, and we have found that it is much easier to edit. That it is, we haven't needed to edit as much, but it works much better to edit. We have, it is, it is easier to go in and request. It automatically produces the closed captioning for everything. And if you bring if there's a YouTube video that comes in, you have to request captioning, but even the captioning has been better than the Kaltura captioning, and it's so much easier
That's great.
edit the captioning than that we have seen. I found that in Kaltura it was harder to go in and edit, but it has been so much easier as far as captioning. Because Kaltura, even in my accent is an Eastern North Carolina accent, and I think I don't hear it sometimes, and other times it just screams out bad. But I can say things that the captioning will come out as something offensive that I would never have occurred, and it's just like I can go in there and okay, let me fix that word. That there's no way I said that word, but it will come out. But it's much better.
That's good. And I'll show that when I share my screen. So these last couple of slides are this one is if you're interested in pursuing your professional growth badges, there's 3 tracks, and this type of webinar falls under the teaching technology. And what I'll do after this webinar is I'll send you an email with a link to this and a link to the support sites for YuJa and a link to the recording of this webinar. Here's the link to some of the resources for YuJa. Monday when we had a webinar, one of the faculty members actually went out to the site and said that she was impressed with the videos because they're very easy to access and understand. And again, I'll send you that link. And then this is just a link to the help desk and Sandy and Susan's team, my team, the Center of Teaching Excellence, and then the YuJa Help Support Center team. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing right now.
And the YuJa support website also has a lot of videos and a lot of resources and stuff too. That they have a very robust website that is a great resource.
Okay, so I'm going back and let me look at these questions real quick. Oh, the captioning, yeah, we just talked about that. About using to host licensed copyrighted materials for faculty. Should we stick to chat or unmute? Yeah, you can unmute. Whoever had that question.
Hey, this is Jeff.
Hey. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, Jessica and I probably have a number of questions, and they may be a little bit particular to the library. So, it may be
Okay.
best for us to hold those questions until, the other, instructional faculty, have opportunity to ask their questions. Maybe save us till the end
Okay.
because, a lot of what we'll ask won't be relevant to them.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. Liz, do you want to turn on your mic? Sound like it is.
Sure. Yeah, I had two questions. So
Okay.
if I, record a screen capture in YuJa with a voiceover, will I be able to download that MP3 file to save to, or MP4 file to save to my desktop outside of the cloud?
Yes.
You should be able to, right? It saves it initially to the cloud. And I believe it may even give you the option, do you want to save it to your desktop or cloud? But you can do either.
Okay. And then my second question was for the videos that we host in YuJa, will we be able to have like a URL that we could link in an email, or are they only able to be played through Folio?
You can copy the link, correct, Susan? Through, and yeah, because I recall seeing that option to copy the links. I'll show you that when I get in my course.
You can copy the link, you can share the link, and also as instructors, any your videos, students can also download these videos, and you have the ability to allow them to download the videos or not to download the videos. You can also allow them to comment a video or not comment. So you've got some options with all these videos and your settings that you can go in individual videos and set these settings about whether you will allow them to download, whether you will allow them to make comments, whether you can do that. So you can download, upload, you can do whatever it
Right.
takes to read it. And if you've got a Zoom video that you want to save, you can bring Zoom videos over. You can edit the beginning, you can edit the ending, so you can edit videos from other sources. You can
That's great.
do these options too, so you can work with videos from other places to do that. So, and then take them somewhere else if you need to. So you can use YuJa just as a video editor if you need to do that. Because we've had a lot of questions this week about people wanting to just edit some of their Zoom videos, and we haven't had an easy video editor. We've always had to kind of try to find a video editor that was out there that didn't leave an imprint that's on there. So we've got that option now.
Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. In fact, Monday, one of the faculty members that attended, she said what she was she doesn't like text-based discussions, so she was going to actually try to use the comment section and have her students comment on her videos, and instead of using an actual folio discussion. So I told her to keep me updated to see how that went. Okay, so Travis, so to confirm, students will be able to record a video and upload their recordings to Folio, Dropbox, or Grading. If so, is there a limit to their size? That's a good question. I don't recall.
There is a limit when you upload to Dropbox. There is a limit on file size, but because the video is going to be in YuJa, it's technically just kind of going to be linked. So there's not going to be that video limit. So as long as they're I think it's a 1 gig limit, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think. It's a 1 gig limit as far as the YuJa as the Dropbox file limit, but that limit doesn't really apply if it's a YuJa link video. And honestly, in the past, we've had problems with Dropbox, people trying to move videos around from their phones or their computers or trying to email things. But now with the app, students can upload something from their phone. If they've got the YuJa app, they can take it from their phone to YuJa and then just link it straight from there without ever having to try to email it to themselves. And faculty can do this too. You don't have to try to email your video from your phone to yourself. You can just upload it straight with the app, and it's in your YuJa account, and you just have to link it. You can share it. So students can do that easily. So if you need a quick assignment, they've got a video camera in their phone and they can do it very quickly and just link in it, and it's there. And so that the transfer process, and there's not that limit because that video is hosted and stored in YuJa, and so that's kind of holding all of it right there.
That's great. Yeah. And last week I was working with a faculty member. She said, I was just telling about YuJa. And she said, well, I create all my narrated lectures through PowerPoint. And I said, well, the challenge with that is it creates a huge file. And even if you attach it, say, to a piece of content of there's a limit to the size, like Susan said, if you attach something to a content item in Folio, you probably have to convert it to an MP4 size file. So really, that really is another reason to consider creating your lectures using this tool as well. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Or if you have any, just let me know. All right. Let me start sharing here again. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see my screen. So I created this video, and see, here's this little window that appears. And if I want to edit this video, here's what the editing screen looks like. So let me move y'all's pictures down here. So over here on the right of the toolbar, this is where my closed captioning comes in, and this is where you can edit the captioning. And like Susan said, it's just so much more easier to access and edit than it was in Kaltura. And then this is where you can add what I talked about, an index, so that if you want to, here I added, say, an index called topic 1 introduction, and then maybe here, an example 1 index. So you can add those. So when the video records, let me move the screen over here. So you can save that, and I'll close out and see if I can play this video to show you what it looks like. Oh, let's say play from the beginning. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go back here and not make it as large. Play. Okay, so play from 10. So over here, see this button? I'm going to stop the recording. Over here on the toolbar, there's a little index button. So your students can choose this index, and this shows you where all the indices are. So if I choose topic 1, that takes me to that point in the video. Or if I choose example 1, then that takes me to that point in the video. And when we did this webinar last week, one of the literature professors said, she's already using it. She goes, I love that index feature because I've already been adding, indices to my lecture videos. So that's helpful to have as well. And if you want to record a video, you just choose this create recording, and you can select start. I'm not actually going to record, but we'll see if I can show you that screen. Okay, so if I just wanted to do like a screen capture, like a course navigation video to share with my students at the beginning of the semester, then let's say I'm going to choose video, and I'm going to choose to turn off my first video source, and then I just only want to record what's on the screen. And then notice down here it shows you the strength of my microphone so that I know that it's working, and then I can just select the start button. And it does similar to what it does in Kaltura. It gives you a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and you can start and the recording starts. I don't want to do that with a Zoom session happening, but that's how you do it. And again, you can select which screen. Some people have more than one screen connected to their desktops. Close that here. And then if you're not sure where you're at, this little icon up here takes you back to your home screen of the YuJa menu. And let's talk about, where was it? Oh, let's do the more, because we were talking about links. And here's your direct link that you can make a copy of and share with other people. And then where were the comments? Is the comments under, oh, that's the captioning. There's some, oh, here it is right here, comments. This is where you can decide who can comment on which video. Okay.
And then the download is where you can just say whether people can download, which is what,
Oh, right here. Okay.
download.
Yeah. And that's good, because I remember over the past year, some faculty did not want their students to be able to download their videos. So that's nice to be able to set up that security as to who can download it and even add comments. Okay. Any other functionality, Susan, that you can think of that we may want to share, or any other questions from anyone?
We've got a couple more questions. I'm not sure about the CC files from the publisher for the video.
What was the question?
Can you upload CC files provided by the publisher for the videos? If so, what formats are supported? Also, what video formats are supported? That I'm not sure. I will have to ask.
And that's for the captioning? Is that what that is for?
Yeah, for example, if we're uploading material that we've obtained from a publisher, they may very well provide both a video file and a caption file. And so, for example, you have the ability to upload certain caption files in certain formats to YouTube rather than, auto-generate or type captioning. Also, there's, I guess, like the MKV format, which is a container format that can hold both the video and the caption file. I'm just wondering, what's supported.
I'm not sure, but I will check with our. I think almost everything is, but I will check with our YuJa representative to make sure we get the correct answer.
Great, that's good. Thanks for asking that question. That's good to know. We can share with everybody. Another question, Susan?
That's it for questions right there. Just to reinforce the whole YouTube thing, because YouTube things, I mean, over the years, we've seen YouTube videos go away. So if there's a YouTube video that does disappear that your program uses, recommend pulling it in and put it in there. So when that YouTube video goes away, you've got a copy of it, because we've had to help search for YouTube videos somewhere that's been reposted by another place somewhere else, or somebody decides to put it behind a firewall. You can have a copy of it, and now we will have that option. And if you've got any videos that you are concerned that won't be there for your summer classes, please let us know so we can make sure that we've got them already in your classes for summer. We don't think there's going to be a problem, but if you are going to be slightly concerned, and we don't want you to worry at all, we want to make sure that everybody's got everything and that there's not going to be anybody worrying about everything. We've got backups to backups, and we're trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly, because we know this is a big undertaking, transitioning from one thing to another, and we wanted to anticipate everything, so we wanted to do everything.
Susan, can they pre-schedule takedowns of videos, example, when the license expires? I recall there being dates. For the YuJa videos, you can select a date range of when it's available to the viewers, right?
Yes, yes, you can do that.
But related to the license, when the license expires for a particular video, I'm not sure where you would put that date unless you knew it already. You can block students from downloading, yes. However, if you share a file for faculty to use, can you block their ability to download? And I would say yes, that you can block students or faculty from downloading.
You should be able to.
But I can follow up with that as well to confirm that answer. Okay. All right, so that's all we have. If you want to hang around and ask more questions or, about the functionality, please do. Otherwise, like I said, yes, I'll send you one email that has a link to the slides, the recording, and the support links. Okay. Otherwise, we'll hang around and y'all have a good afternoon.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Hey, Julie and Susan.
Oh, yes. You want to ask some questions? Sure.
Yeah, thanks for fielding some questions. Let me provide some background on
Okay.
where questions are coming from. Basically, in the past couple of years, the library's received an increasing number of requests from faculty for the library to license videos where the publishers expect the institution to host the video, but control access and the ability to download, meaning that you're licensing for students and faculty behind an appropriate authentication wall to view the content, but they shouldn't be able to download the video. They should only be able to view it on screen. This content typically is licensed. Well, it can either be licensed on a temporary license or on a permanent license, depending on the agreement with the publisher. But it's reasonable to anticipate that many of these videos we'd have to make inaccessible on a given date, when the license expires. And a lot of libraries and institutions actually have like freestanding, servers, to support this stuff. But we're happy to go cheap and leverage, YuJa or a similar service that's already built into Folio, for this purpose. The idea being that Folio is providing the authentication, layer. And then it just becomes a question of do we have adequate control of distribution of the video, download control and expiration through the tool. So that's sort of the context. And Jessica, if I'm mischaracterizing or you want to go into more detail on some of the contracts you're seeing, that may be helpful.
No, that's a very good summary of it. Most of the licenses we have purchased are for perpetual access, which means there wouldn't necessarily be an end date, but there might be situations where there would be. But most of the faculty members, they want a streaming perpetual rights. And so we would need something that we could post several times so people could have them. And another question I had is when you were talking about the link, would it be possible to post that to like our A to Z list, or would it be more appropriate to maybe have a note saying contact if you want this link, and then send it to them? I just wasn't sure what the capability was with Folio and linking out like that.
Meaning, can the YuJa, the link be externalized? Meaning, can for example, if a faculty member were to throw a link to a YuJa video into an email that goes out to their students, and that email would pull them through authentication to Folio or, to a YuJa context, so that they've authenticated to view the video. Because we've got to imagine scenarios where faculty are going to want to share a link out, rather than just relying on students to go into Folio to access.
Well, I mean, from a pedagogy perspective, if it's related to the content, the best practice is to link out from the Folio course. But you're saying in a scenario where they may share a link.
If they share the YuJa link, like from the embed code, or I mean, meaning the goal here is, we want to make sure that the faculty can't sort of re-engineer something in a way that would potentially release access to a video, that's not in compliance with the contract.
I'm really not sure. I mean, I'm thinking if they're not, if they've, been given the directive from your team, that they're not to share that link, maybe that's, I don't know, part of the expectation.
Maybe the way to find out is just to play around with it, and see if we can, like, again, for example, derive from an embed code. I'm assuming it generates like an iframe or something, ensuring that, that doesn't provide sort of backdoor access to the content.
Yeah, I'll need to talk with my team to talk about the settings for that, because there may be something that we'll know a little more about, at least the YuJa administrators that are on our group, that will know more about the settings, about how that works, and how that may be that they will have to be authenticating through Folio to view that. So they'll get that link, and if the settings are a certain way, they will be brought back into Folio. And so it may not, even if they've got that link, it will bring them back in. But probably a Jebanet and Sandy will know
Right.
about that, because they know how the single sign-on and all everything works a little better.
Right. And I'm thinking, the answers to this question are valuable to more than just the library, because, I imagine that faculty do, receive access to like publisher content that comes along with, say, a textbook, or a curriculum set from a publisher, where similar licensing, applies, right? Whether the faculty member knows it or not, or whether the faculty member is in a good position to, evaluate the terms of that license. There may still be a need to control, forcing some level of authentication prior to viewing, even if the some step is taking that would potentially externalize content.
Yeah. Because what I'm thinking is, let's say a faculty member shares a link to a video for a course to another faculty member who doesn't have access to that course, or students who are not in that course. Would they not be able to access it, like you said, unless they could sign into Folio? I would think, because that's what I said earlier, is they have to, in order to have access to those videos in that course channel, they have to have access to the course.
They have to have, well, they would be able to, if they've been shared the direct link, they should be able to view the video.
Even if they're not in the course?
And if they're not in the course, if they've been given the direct link.
Direct link, okay.
Yeah, and
if they've not done that.
See, Jessica, my concern is that, the mere existence of a direct link that doesn't force authentication, could run aground, run
Yeah,
up
that's what
against
I'm
the
concerned
contract.
about.
Yeah, exactly.
We want it to be as easy as possible for authenticated students to access the video, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we do have some level of authentication. So that's the problem.
And again, that's why a lot of universities, host their own platforms, where they can control at that level, control access at that level.
Yeah, that would definitely be something for Susan and her team to discuss, because, just like Sandy told us last week, there's triple the amount of videos created now, so that's even makes this really even more of an issue to be discussed. And,
Well, in the immediate term, and I don't know how y'all, want to go forward with this, in addition to Jessica and myself and David Louder may need, to be involved in conversation on this as well as systems librarian, since he is our, liaison to, IT services. But, I guess in the immediate term, we do have a sandbox that a number of library faculty share. So presumably we could start playing around with this some. We would just need to, I guess, find a faculty partner who's willing to help us test, sharing to other faculty a little bit. I'm not again, I'm not sure how y'all would like to kind of keep in touch on these questions or, follow up on these questions.
I will actually talk with Sandy, right? I have a meeting with her at 11 o'clock, so I will talk with her about this. So I would expect that she will be reaching out to you.
Okay.
Probably want to follow up with you because these are good questions, and she'll want to probably set up something to talk with you about it and probably go forward with that.
Okay.
Because those are really good questions. We'll want to follow up on. So.
Yes, thank goodness you're here, Susan. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, that sounds good. Any other questions or comments or?
That's the main thing in my mind.
One more question.
Okay.
Would it be possible to establish a YuJa account with a delegated account? Meaning that in the library, within the library, thinking in terms of managing videos and licenses down the road, we worry about continuity and we don't want to attach this stuff to an individual, right? And so, would it potentially be possible to attach an account to a delegated account so we can ensure continuity as, faculty and staff come and go?
That we're not, I don't know, because at this time, all the accounts are to a specific user. Because like for me, I have an administrator account, a student account, and a faculty account, and all of my YuJa accounts are combined into one.
Oh, are they?
Every time I log in, it's all me. So we're trying to figure out how we can have this separate identity account that's not linked to anything else. So I can mention that to Sandy too. So
okay, sure, right.
Maybe a delegated account, because that's the whole other realm. So we stay in touch with YuJa because there's always these questions that keep coming up. So
and I do have one more question. I apologize.
No, I'm glad you're asking.
If so, the sharing option sounds like a real, opportunity here. That the libraries could have maybe a single account where we're uploading these files and then we're sharing them out either to individual faculty or all faculty. I mean, I could see either scenario potentially working. But again, if we have videos with limited term licenses, again, this access needs to be pulled, at the end date of that license. So the question is, if we share a video to the faculty and they embed that video in their course, do we have the ability to take down their access in their course by making a change on our account? How do we force compliance with the license on a video once it's been embedded in multiple courses? That'll potentially be a question too.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like you should be able to do that with YouTube. That happens all the time. People take their video down or access to it. I would think it would work similar in YuJa, but I'm not sure.
If it's they embedded your video and they do not have ownership, then once you remove the rights to it, they should not.
Right.
Because we'd be hosting it on YuJa as opposed to like YouTube, right? So we would be uploading a copy, and you mentioned that when you edit, when you snip videos, it's creating multiple copies, right? So and I guess that's a question too. We would want to share the videos, but we would not want to extend editorial rights. There's no permission to edit these videos.
Right.
Yeah. So, are they working from the original copy? And when we pull that copy down, does it pull it down in all contexts? Yeah.
Gosh, we're glad y'all attended this webinar. Because these are really good questions. Because
Again, that may be relevant to faculty working with their own content, because if if the originating faculty has shared content to other faculty and the originating faculty pulls it down, and it gets pulled down in everybody else's course,
Oh, yes.
that might really create challenges for folks, especially if it occurs when an account is closed.
Right.
Does access persist for shared content after an account is closed? That could, especially if you've got multiple faculty sharing videos for the same course, multiple sections.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for asking all those questions. And Susan will meet with Sandy, and then hopefully she can meet up with me and the other instructional designers to update us as well. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. I'm going to stop recording now, and then I'll send y'all an email, probably right after lunch.